Comic review in 1 or 2 minutes. Let's go. Issue 5 of Blue Falcon and Dynomutt. The comic starts off with Blue Falcon and Dynomutt trying to get back Maya, and then it's revealed that Beast Woman is actually Valentine, which, to be honest, was not that big of a shocker if you read the comic or at least the issue before this one. And Dynomutt remembers the henchman that actually shot him and proceeds to scorch him alive. After that, Valentine actually explains her plan to steal Blue Falcon's belt and to sell it. And Blue Falcon manages to talk Valentine down and not hurt Maya, but Maya had a different idea in mind. Later on, it's actually revealed that they can't actually leave the island because the jet's out of fuel and the fuel tanker won't be there until the next day. And when it does come, Blue Falcon tells Valentine never to come back into a city as he never wants to see her again, and if he does see her, he's gonna turn that jungle into scorched earth. Later on, we do see that Mr. Bates had finally figured out how to mass produce Blue Falcon's belt. Not only that, Beast Woman calls him and tells him that Blue Falcon is on his way back to his city. And then that's when we see, as Blue Falcon and Maya and Dynomutt are flying away, that's when the Hawkmen appear and attack their plane. However, Blue Falcon with his belt sends out an electric charge to kind of stun all the Hawkmen, and then this is when we see him fight all of them, which is somewhat similar to his dreams that he had in the first couple of issues. Days after the Hawkmen attacked them, we see that Radley and Maya are back together again, but we don't see Dynomutt. And at the end of the comic, it's actually shown that Dynomutt went back to the Amazon and burnt Valentine to a crisp. Yep, this settles it. I'd rather fight Batman 9 times out of the week rather than go against Blue Falcon and his dog, alright? I don't want to be burnt to a crisp or exploded into millions of pieces. Honestly, when comparing these guys to their TV show counterpart, I think I actually love the comic version of Blue Falcon and Dynomutt a little bit more than the Hanna-Barbera one. Not to mention, they do actually break away from Blue Falcon just being another copy of Batman. As you can see that he doesn't really have a no-kill rule. I think his rule is more or less like, if you push me to that limit, I will do what is necessary kind of a rule. And what further divides them both from one another is that Blue Falcon does seem to be a little bit more smarter than Batman, as you can see that he actually made his own belt that can make him fly. But what about the story and the art in Blue Falcon and Dynomutt? I still stand by my statement about 5 issues being too short to tell a story that's this interesting. And that 12 issues is kind of like that sweet spot that allows you to explore more of the story and tell more of what you want to tell than 5 issues. But I still think that Palmiotti did still do a good job, especially with the amount of issues that he had. The one thing I do wish we got to see was how Blue Falcon brought back Dynomutt, because as you saw in like the first issue, he was taking his dog to someone else, but we still don't know who that someone else is. I also do think that the reveal of Valentine being Beast Woman did kind of fall flat, especially since, you know, we as the readers kind of already figured out that, yeah, she was probably the one that was Beast Woman, especially since they looked so much alike. I also felt like we should have saw a little bit more of Blue Falcon showing off his hand-to-hand combat skills, as we only really saw him fight hand-to-hand in like the first issue. I also felt that the Hawkmen should have been used in another arc rather than just be used right away at the end of the last issue. But I do love that the characters are more serious, especially with Dynomutt. And I know some people might not like that because they're so used to like the goofy Dynomutt, but I prefer this version of Dynomutt than the original. But my stances on Pasquale's art is still the same. I love his art. His art fits this story, but I do think that there is still some room to improve his art style. But that's it for me, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comments. Let me know if you guys actually kept up with the series and read it as well. I want to hear you guys' thoughts about it. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time.